morning, Patriot Pals. It's January 15th, 2021, and I am coming to you from Manhattan with my partner, Rob Breeley. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing great today, Mel. It's a great time to be alive and enjoying New York City. It's a little quiet these days, but we're kind of running out of people here.
So sad.
I know.
Yeah, it's getting messy. I hear De Blasio's kicking out Trump and Trump organization, which includes basically the skating rink, all these parks. I mean, Trump built New York. This guy's destroyed it in 4 years, and he's kicking out the Trump organization. Are
I
you
know.
kidding me?
It's
What
insane.
a
And
scumbag.
at the same time, he's being sued by what's her name, Lolita James, who's the New York AG, and they're suing the De Blasio and the NYPD and their leadership over abuse of power, aggressive policing against the mostly peaceful protests.
Black Lives Matter riots.
Yeah,
We were
exactly.
here. They were not peaceful, okay? And the NYPD barely did anything because they had their hands tied. This Letitia James, I've dealt with her. I dealt with her when I was trying to investigate the Thrive New York City, and she was the public advocate. She's a Soros puppet. She's one of them. She's what, suing New York City for what? For whom?
You
Because
know what it is?
New York
I'll,
City's broke.
I'll, I'll tell
So,
you what it is.
and we
New
have no
York,
cops now. It's
New
so
York New York has a history of paying lawsuits. And in my view, it's probably a way for them to wash money. So different people come and they sue, and there's a fund and they pay it out, and people get taken care of. I mean, that would be my 2 cents, but we'll see what happens. The other thing is that
real
Cuomo,
hero. She's got her priorities straight. New York City is broke. The NYPD has been demasculated, cut down. It's become so unsafe. They let out all these criminals, and now she's suing the NYPD. She should be removed. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
absolutely. No, you're right. You're
It
right.
is lawless in Manhattan. What she's allowed to happen, and now she's suing them after tying their hands. Believe me, how many cops have we met on the street that just look at us and are just don't know what to say or do? It's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
They can't even look you in the eye.
No.
Um, an interesting turn of events. Cuomo is switched gears, in the same way that I heard that Beetlejuice in Chicago also did the same thing. But Cuomo is saying now we have to open up. We can't wait for the vaccine. Blah blah blah. But it was a very very odd presentation he gave. I
Right.
like watching his stuff, and it's normally kind of entertaining in a way, but as much as it's kind of very demonic. But this was a taped green screen fade to black talk about the New World Order Green New Deal plan, and it just to me seemed it was not him. He loves to take questions. He loves to smack people down. He loves to seem like this orator,
King
and
of
this
the
was
world.
this
Yeah.
this was not that. So I feel like something has shifted in New York, and maybe that's why the whole world is shifting now. Maybe the tide has turned. You
Yeah,
know,
I hear from some of my sources that Cuomo is caught up in the CCP and the election scandal. A long time ago when we first went into lockdown, and you and I saw him come out with, arms around Bill Gates and Eric Schmidt, two of the biggest demons on the planet, saying that he was going to reimagine New York. I knew right then and there this guy was playing the other side. He wasn't doing anything for the people, and we've seen it slowly but surely play out. His big plan to reimagine New York into the gutter. And good. I hope something's wrong. That's my take on Cuomo. What he's done to New York is unconscionable and clearly on purpose. He moves the goalpost every day, and what he's done to a lot of our friends, businesses, let alone the entire state, is repugnant. And I'm telling you, he is as corrupt as they come, and will be swept up in the coming sweep, which is about to happen, in my opinion. Go
Ab-
ahead.
yeah, absolutely. So, maybe this is more, what I would believe that this is more of kind of showing people the truth, letting them see it, and bringing them to that precipice. But what I'm really excited about is I believe the tide is really turning, and we're seeing a lot happen. Patriots are holding the line. We're getting censored and shut down, but we are adapting and we are driving forward. Um,
Yeah. That's true. We both got axed. I'm very proud with the president, Flynn and Sidney Powell, from Twitter. So now you have to find it. We like friends, and I like to talk a lot. We finally got the blog off the ground. Rob sent out one yesterday as a test. If you are subscribed at the Mel K Show at BitChute or at the new and soon to be mucho improved, the melkshow.com, please let us know if you didn't receive the test blog, because we're getting ready to really step it up on every level over there. Not having Twitter suddenly inspires a lot of creativity. So
Yeah, it sure does.
yeah. So the melkshow.com is going to become really active ASAP. I like to talk a lot, and they took my entire Twitter away, and I have a lot to say all day long. So we're getting excited about that. Plus, we want an interactive group. And it's been so great. I mean, I wish I did it earlier, but sometimes, desperate times call for a lot more investment in other avenues. So I think that's a positive source, getting people, that actually are out there sharing information and telling the truth and all that. Maybe it's the best thing that could have happened to us with the purge.
Absolutely. Because it really pushes you to act. They say necessity is the mother of invention. And, we are in a period of time which is truly biblical. And I don't mean to be flippant about it, but we've heard that. But there's so much happening worldwide. And it's such an exciting and, in a way, terrifying time, because, we really don't know what's going to happen. But we do know the direction, and we do know what we all have to do.
Right.
So, but it's happening all over the world. We can see it.
Well, I don't find it terrifying at all. I mean, I have 100% in faith in God and the alliance and Trump. And I believe that we are watching the, culmination of 3.5 years, 4 years of being vilified and lied to. And just a lot of work has gone into getting to this place that is, it's a masterful plan. And from what I'm hearing, we are in really good shape. I know that at least as far as my connections, my people that tell me stuff that tend to be right, is that what's going on in DC is actually that we're in a contingent of government phase where everything is coming out. Today, Lou Dobbs said last night, and then Trump confirmed, they're going to be declassifying the Russiagate finally. On top of that, the head of FEMA is now the head of the Homeland Security. And he is also a long-term 29-year, I think, vet of the Marines. Chris Miller is running basically the military. And DNI Radcliffe gave in his report. I hear General Flynn is now at the helm on a lot of military stuff. And that what's going on in DC right now is truly the biblical end that we had all prayed for, which what I'm being told is that the inauguration will not happen, and that the reins are going to be handed over under FEMA, under Article 14, Section 3 of our government betraying we the people. And President Trump still being president, his duty is to protect the American people from enemies, foreign and domestic. And as we discussed, but I think if you don't know, the guy, John Sullivan, who MSNBC and CNN had on as some kind of hero journalist. He's not a journalist. He runs Insurrection USA, and it's a side arm of Antifa. He was involved in many of the riots and fires and brick throwing and looting over last summer. They caught him planning this event. And he also, there was a CNN reporter embedded with him hours before they stormed the Capitol, and him and one other woman that he works with were the ones that were leading the storming of the Capitol. Of course, at that time, Donald Trump was still speaking down the street and calling for a peaceful march down the street to cheer on the brave congressmen and senators that were going to vote for truth, and that the election was, in fact, not only stolen, but stolen by foreign enemies and domestic enemies. And,
in order to, we always give, but our administration, Trump, has always given them a chance, one chance, two chance, three chance. And this is important because, he is not a dictator. He's trying to encourage people to do the right thing. And if they're not going to do the right thing, ultimately, we need to protect our republic, our freedom, and
Right.
our
Well, that's his
democracy.
job. That's his number one job, is to protect the people from enemies, foreign and domestic. Also, another thing that came out, and Bernard Carrick, who's an amazing, used to be the head of NYPD, he confirmed that Nancy Pelosi, Muriel Bowser, and Mitch McConnell were all made aware before the 6th, on the 4th and 5th, that there was a planned attack, a violent attack on DC. We're going to find out that violent attack was planned by Antifa and Black Lives Matter and their organization, which is a giant organization that will be traced back to many people that will be surprising. But Pelosi and McConnell knew about this prior. Therefore, Donald Trump cannot incite a riot that was planned. If a riot is planned, it cannot be incited. It's already planned. So there's going to be evidence coming out pretty soon. And one thing I was going to tell you, Rob, and our great, awesome people that watch us, it turns out that there's going to be even more coming out, because what they're saying is because of FEMA now taking over, and there's been a lot of false information over the years about FEMA, and it's been
Hey, Mel, I don't know if you can hear me, but somehow we froze up.
might not have meant to kill Seth Rich, but
Hey,
once
Mel,
we,
Mel,
yeah.
I want to interrupt you for a sec.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We just had about a 5 or 10 second freeze on the recording. So I just wanted you to know that, just the FYI. Sorry, guys, maybe they're taking it down.
Right.
Maybe
That's
they
a
don't.
good sign.
Right. Maybe they don't want. I got to tell you, I've been getting a lot of weird glitches on my phone, on the computer, on different programs I'm trying to use. So I don't
Well,
know.
there's an AI battle going on, in my opinion, because I mean, my iPhone every 10 minutes is reminding me at this point to do an update, which guys, do not do it. They are not on our side. These corporations have shown their true colors over and over. What Rob and I were talking about earlier, and I got some intel on, is that when they kicked last week, Chris Miller made Space Force one of the military intelligence agencies. What's happening right now is that Apple and a lot of the other big tech companies, besides censoring, that they are trying to block the emergency broadcast system, and that there's honestly, in space right now, a counterinsurgency and a fight for the satellites. So, because they want to broadcast the evidence that's about to come out worldwide. A lot of these blackouts have been the good guys, and it's not just America. That's the other thing. There's been an alliance this whole time. I've talked about it many times, and it includes all the major countries. We all have the same enemy. The enemy is the big cabal, big tech, big pharma, the Davos people, the good group, the satanic elite, the bloodlines. But here's the thing, as I discussed a long time ago, at the G20 2 years ago, there was a meeting and all these world leaders got together, including Putin and Xi and Modi and the Australians and Mexico, Brazil, the good guys in the UK. And they really broke it down about the child trafficking and the human trafficking and all the stuff, everything that's going on run by the CCP and the UN / banking cabal. And this has been a worldwide operation. And I believe we're going to see the fruition of it in the next 3 or 4 days, because there will not be an inauguration. And
you mentioned AI. I don't know if people saw in the last few days the White House announced that they brought out a national AI initiative office. So this ties in, and this is going to be the first time that AI funding is going to be coordinated and basically audited. So AI is run by the CIA, DARPA, all these black box groups that have funded like Facebook and Google and so many other programs that crawl into our lives and collect data and use it against us, hammer
Right.
scorecard, the
Right.
whole upstream data sorting. So that's an awesome move. I mean, that is a white hat move, and that makes
Yeah.
me pretty encouraged.
Also, right. And in that executive order, these companies are up for being seized because the thing that people, might not understand yet, but will, is that we've been in a state of emergency. First of all, the war on terror was never ended, which is very vague. The Patriot Act never ended. So that's one thing. Second, on July 4th, unbeknownst to most people, 2020, Trump was kind of signaling to us that the corporation of the United States of America was no more, which is a fraudulent situation that's been going on in DC for a very long time, since 1871. All of our taxpayer money, everything that they've been doing in DC has been nefarious and not for the people in any way, shape, or form. We have many, many, many traitors and people that are compromised in our government at this moment, which is what is going on in DC right now, in my opinion. Hopefully we will see that come to fruition. But the other thing is that, we are in a active emergency situation for multiple reasons. First, because during the COVID, when all 50 states asked Donald Trump to call an emergency, we went into an emergency state. Second, when they cheated and all these foreign governments, along with Nancy Pelosi and her crew and many corporate heads and all the big tech guys and Gates and all his friends, stole the election from the American people, and we are in a time of emergency, this makes it high treason. Also, there were reports that there was another assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life in the middle of all of this after the election was stolen. And that kicks it to a whole nother level. This is why we're seeing the military presence. It's done. It's time. And I'm very happy to say that I believe that General Flynn and Chris Miller and now Peter Gaynor are in control of our country. And that is a great thing, because the military was never going to allow our country to be handed over to a communist China puppet who has blatantly, in our faces, tried to put back everyone that was in the Obama administration, plus a handful of big tech people, into the White House in front of our faces, as if the American people are stupid. And we're not stupid. There are more of us. They've been trying with their MSM. The MSM is completely compromised. They're going down too. I hear they're going to pull their licenses. They're filled with CCP contractors. They're filled with CIA agents. And enough's enough. This week was terrifying to many human beings all over the world. America hasn't seen communism, but the rest of the world has. And we are literally steps away from becoming a communist slave country to China and the big banking cabal. And that's just, they're never going to let it happen. So I think we are finally at the edge. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, we've been told that America is the last stand, and that we will overcome this, and I fully believe that has already occurred. We're seeing people all over the world with their hands being untied and justice being done. You mentioned the other day the Ukrainian president. He's going after people within his
right.
His government that have been seditious and treasonous.
Right.
The Dutch prime minister and his cabinet just resigned because of some sort of flack over their child services. Now, I don't think they're saying that they were stealing
the
children.
Netherlands is the worst child trafficking, sex trafficking location on the planet. That Jessie, that goes a lot on Kathy Fox, if you guys don't know her, she's got a great blog on the child trafficking situation and the satanic ritual abuse. The Netherlands is the worst of the worst. And if you would notice, right after General Flynn was released from this bogus gag order from this horrible Judge Sullivan, who's corrupt as can be and will be going away, his first place he went when he was freed was the Netherlands. I hear the whole Dutch monarchy is done. And also Italy is having its biggest trial ever. 300 people are charged in the government and mafia that are also connected. This is all going to connect to the human and child trafficking international, whatever it is. It's the biggest international money laundering, money maker in the world. Actually, most people don't know, and Epstein of Boomerang will prove child trafficking, which is fully connected to the Clinton Foundation and many other people, is the biggest commodity on the planet right now. It is far more valuable to the people at the top, the Davos Bilderberg folk, than oil, which is incredibly sad. And that is going to be on the horizon of disclosure as well. So
yeah, it can just continues. This MIT professor that
right.
he was charged. Didn't
Right.
he? Was he the one that pled guilty?
Yeah, well, there was another MIT Chinese national charged this week. There was one that pled guilty a few weeks ago, and they picked up a guy at NASA that's a Chinese spy. Also, it's coming out that almost every university in the Ivy League, let alone the ones right below, and all the Polytech universities, that there's been they say $185 million put in by the CCP, the Chinese Communist government, into these universities. And Rob, remember we talked about a long time ago, Pompeo warned them all. That's what we're saying. Trump has played everything straight by the Constitution of the United States of America, not the faux Constitution for the corporation. And that's why it's working this way. It's chain of custody, and he's followed it to the T. That's why everything that he's doing had to be done this way. And the only answer was the military. The good thing that I'm hearing, that since it's believed that the military has taken over, is that it goes right to military tribunals. So all evidence is valid. And like you said about Ukraine, not only did the Ukraine president come out and say he's going to hold everyone that meddled in the US election responsible and try them, but he also wants Joe Biden and his son extradited to face trial over there for stealing $700 million of Ukrainian taxpayer money.
Yep. Well, I'll buy the plane ticket for him if they
I
need
know,
it.
I know. And yeah.
Cuba was reinstituted as a funder of terrorism globally.
Surprise,
So
surprise.
that was turned back. We arrested, we're starting to arrest people for election interference. That woman in Texas
Yeah.
and maybe others, right?
Yeah, they said possibly that Ruby woman, but definitely that woman that James O'Keefe caught in Texas. I'm assuming they'll go get that guy that was bragging in Minnesota. And the other thing that James O'Keefe got that behind the scenes of Jack from Twitter.
Oh
I
my
have
God.
never seen a more demonic, disgusting video. If you guys haven't seen it, we are starting the blog, so I'll put it over there. But do look it up. James O'Keefe did an amazing job. Apparently, there's a lot more whistleblowers coming forward against both Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And this video of this disgusting Jack talking like he's God, saying that his targeting President Trump's account and the QAnon accounts, which QAnon it's just a board. It's all psyop what they're telling you. There's good people involved and there's probably bad people involved. But if you're a good person and you're doing research, then you're doing right. But anyway, the video of Jack is the most terrifying thing. Somebody's got to send him to I thought he was already in prison, but you know what? The man is a demon, and he's also very involved in the child trafficking, sex trafficking. And how dare he act like the Q and Trump accounts and Sidney Powell and all them are dangerous. Twitter has been peddling child porn for decades, since before they even started. Jack has been involved in that world. So I look forward to that. Also, Elon Musk, like I said earlier, came out and said that the riots actually were planned on Facebook, and that Zuckerberg had a big part of it, and that these riots were counter. They were counter to the protest, and the fact that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell were told and didn't tell the president prior, he might have had the opportunity to cancel and tell the Patriots not to come, but they didn't give him that opportunity. So I'm looking forward to some arrests coming, and I think they're coming ASAP, and some D-class What else, Rob, before we jump
Well,
off?
certainly the military is positioned around our country, so we are protected. We don't need to worry, but there should be a lot of action. For those who still don't think that there was any election interference, there's now a 3-volume
Right.
report by Peter Navarro, the
Yep.
Immaculate Deception. I was with some friends the other day, and they said, well, there's no evidence of election interference, and I'm like, well, well,
Not
maybe
on
we
mainstream
maybe
media.
maybe we just differ on that, but maybe I'll send them the 3-volume report. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, where are we right now? Where are we right now? It's a time to breathe. It's a time
Yeah.
to take care of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Connect with family and friends.
Yeah, make sure that you also, yeah, that's a good point. Also, the isolation. There is a report coming out that COVID, as Rob and I have said for now a year or since it started, was a manufactured psyop. It will lead back, unfortunately, to our own NIH, help with funding. Soros, Gates, Obama, they're all involved. And it's looking like a lot of Democratic insiders were involved, and that the virus was spread to kick in the Great Reset for the World Bank, and that it was planned a long time ago. And that's another thing. And those will be crimes against humanity, as well as anyone who blocked hydrochloroquine will be charged with crimes against humanity as well. So hopefully, at least the people on the left and the Democrats and liberals that are cheering on Joe Biden as he tells them to their face that they're going to be the minority soon, and that he's giving over our country to communist China and to radicals that hate America. Maybe that'll open their eyes when they find out that COVID was in fact a bioweapon. It's a virus, but it's a virus no more dangerous than the flu, and that the cure the whole time was hydrochloroquine, and our own government suppressed it.
Yeah.
So
So the
that's
more,
another one. So
yeah,
there's a lot of treason to go around, and don't worry, because the military, when they arm those soldiers, because during an emergency like this, and since we're apparently in contingent of government, this is not to protect Biden or the inauguration. This is to finally, once and for all, drain the swamp of these evil demons, because that's what they are. And this week, what they've done in the White House with the racism and the anti American, and just the abuse of Donald Trump, when it's
what
coming out that they planned it and then turned it on him to try to I don't know why they did this to America, but they need to pay dearly.
Yeah,
So we're
well, I mean, the rhetoric is very high, which hopefully will wake up more and more people, because the more people that at least have that narrative broken and are questioning things, it helps as information comes out, and they're maybe more open to seeing truth, and as things happen that are shocking, they can deal with that a little better. But there's so much information, it's so hard to keep up, but we keep trying to focus on what's important now, and like I said, what we're doing is just trying to sift through and keep our eye on the mission.
Yeah, and we're since we're gearing up, I'm having a Twitter withdrawal because I was really worked hard on there. But so we're gonna step it up a lot. So we are going down to DC, just taking a drive, and we're gonna stay in touch with you guys and keep you in the loop. So expect a bunch of videos. And please go to themelkshow.com. I'm just figuring out, I was on the phone all day yesterday, how to make it interactive and do the blog and all of that. But you know what? The Twitter ban motivated me. And going forward, I believe that, rightly so, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News will be no more. And so the more we can do here and with other great channels. So that's another thing. Support the digital soldiers that are still up and running. And for those of us that were canceled from Twitter, share the knowledge over there, and make sure you do your own research. And as soon as I get the blog up, then I'll share the shows and the links and everything. And we've been trying to figure out how to do it. And we don't want to go onto a platform that's going to cancel us. It's really a lot of work, and though it's fun work, and I love the interaction with you guys. So I want to make sure that it's up and running and interactive, and not going to have all my hard work like disappear again. So
I just wanted to make one really important point. So this weekend in DC. They're promoting some sort of a stop the steal event. That's not what we're going for. That's not what we're doing. We're visiting some friends,
Yeah,
and we're just kind of catching up and talking about how we, grow and move forward
yeah,
in helping people understand what's going on. We are going to
yeah,
stay far away from all that stuff.
yeah.
So no one should be going to DC unless you have a very
No,
specific
no,
purpose.
that's another thing. Digital soldiers, real patriots, people that are with the movement. I wouldn't even go anywhere near DC. We're going for like research today. We're not going to be staying the whole weekend. But no, no, they do not get sucked into that, please. DC right now is for traitors, criminals, and people that need to be arrested. If you don't fall into that category, do not go there, because I'm telling you, this is the opposite of what it appears. There will be no inauguration of these demons. They can get nowhere near our military won't allow it. This isn't Donald Trump. This is the military. People that have given their whole lives to this country are not going to let communist China and the deep state bank cabal take over America and the world. So yeah, I agree with you, Rob. Patriots, stay out of DC, but at the same time, go take care of yourself. Check on your neighbors. Do what you can in your own place. Right now is one of the times where I repeat the serenity prayer a million times over. Know what you can control and what you can't control, and have the wisdom to know the difference and do what you can. But I have a feeling we are at the precipice of the climax of this crazy 4 years. And I believe fully the best is yet to come. And I believe God already won. So have faith, guys. And we're really going to step it up. So we appreciate you checking everything out and coming on over. We're going to be up on Gab TV as well. And always, BitChute's getting bigger. YouTube's still hanging on, but not sure for how long. And just really thank you so much for all the support and love. And it's been a crazy week since we got axed all over the place, but we're never giving up. So we're going to build back better, but not the way
No.
not the way the globalists think. All of us, we're going to the best is yet to come, folks. And the Great Reset ain't happening. And they can take their Great Reset and they can have a lot of fun in Gitmo or wherever else they're put to live out the rest of their lives. So thank you so much for joining us as always. Rob, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm just thankful to be here and to be able to do what we're doing and to be living in this time. Patriots, hang tough. Have a great, great weekend. Relax. All of this is going to be happening, and we don't have to worry about it. We just need to take care of ourselves and the ones we
Right.
love.
What a time to be alive. And there's gonna be a period where the people that orange man bad and thought that voting against Trump was a good thing, and voting for a communist sympathizer, a traitor was a good thing. There's going to be a awakening on their side that's going to be a lot harder. So try to have compassion and empathy for these people that let hate and blindness and MSM, brainwashing,
Yeah.
take them down, because their awakening is going to be really hard, and it's up to us to support them. So don't forget
Amen,
that.
sister. We got it.
Okay, love you guys. Thank you.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day, Patriots.
We'll see you later. Bye.